in the office. My throat is not so great, I have to be honest. I woke up not feeling that great. And Canada was playing US on television, and I was supposed to go and play hockey, and I wasn't feeling well. And I thought, I'll just watch the hockey and I won't play hockey. But I just couldn't let my guys down, my teammates. So I went off and played hockey, but I've got the game recorded. And I know the result, so when I go home, I'm going to watch it knowing that nothing bad can happen. But today, you know, I took a bit of a break from Korean while driving to the hockey rink, and then driving back I was listening to Russian for two reasons. First of all, there's these tragic events in the Ukraine, and I wanted to get some kind of local perspective on it. And second of all, I thought I would you know, have a discussion with Galina in Russian where we talk about the challenge and stuff like that. But it was shot down. Everyone here thought that was a bad idea.
Well, we were wondering how that tied in with the 90-day challenge. If you're watching every video in English and then all of a sudden there's a video in Russian, I guess if we subtitled it, it might have been okay, but that would have been a lot of work for Galina.
Yeah. I'm okay with this. Or we can do it after this challenge.
You guys can speak in Russian right now for like 30 seconds.
Мы никогда говорить по-русски.
Да, нам нужно начать говорить.
Нужно, но я хотел говорить о тем, сейчас, если я начинаю говорить по-русски, мне будет очень трудно.
Ничего страшного.
Да, будет трудно, но я думаю, что после нескольких дней буду говорить лучше, чем никогда. And that's the theme here, is that, so I was going to raise the subject because people say, well, you're learning another language and yet you could work on improving. I could work on improving my Russian for sure. But I have found that over the years, like my 90-day challenge, I'm working on Korean, and so my Russian is going to suffer, my Czech, and some of my weaker languages, call it, are going to suffer in the short term. But I know from experience that when I go back to them, like if I were to go and have a week of Russian, my Russian would be stronger than ever. And it's very interesting, this phenomenon. I had the same experience with other languages. If I studied, like I lived in Japan for 9 years, when I came back here and did a bit of Chinese, my Chinese was better than ever. Because learning more languages actually makes your brain more language fit. I have no scientific proof of this. So I would encourage you, like I know Alex, he's stuck on Korean. You got to get out of that, Alex. To improve your Korean,
come on.
I
know, I got to make the short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely.
But I like it. That's the beauty.
Well, that's another thing I would always. Yeah. But I think Galina, now, if you go after French and are heavily into French, your English, which is already 99%, you know, will even improve.
Yeah, hopefully.
No, it will, because first of all, vocabulary-wise, you'll get a different sense of the meaning of words. I find that my French improved my English. So I always feel this, that studying a variety of languages, even though I say you can't study 3 at once, but you'll go through a 6-month period with one, it improves you obviously in that language, but also in the others.
I would say even studying Italian after probably the language I studied most recently was French prior to the Italian. And you see stuff in Italian that reminds you of stuff that you saw in French, and it reinforces what you see in French, never mind what you're seeing in Italian now, so that additional exposure to the same sort of concepts or structures definitely has an impact. It's just more reinforcement.
What's very good about learning either Spanish or Italian is that there the feminine and masculine is much clearer. In most cases, a word that ends in O is masculine, and a word that ends in A is feminine. So whenever I wonder about a word in French, for example, le vocabulaire. Okay, vocabulaire ends in an E. Many words in French that end in an E are feminine, but I know that vocabulario in Spanish ends in an O. So I know my brain is quickly processing that. So, you know, because in French it's much more difficult, because you've got all kinds of words that end in E that are masculine, like le vocabulaire. So that's our thing today, but I suggest that everyone who's on a 90-day challenge stay on one language for the whole challenge. But then, and we are going to have more challenges, right? Lots of people are asking for more challenges. Yeah.
We should do something.
We should do something. Okay, that's all for today.
Happy weekend.
Yes,
everybody.
happy weekend, right.